So then I've picked him up, and he's just flopped. And then I just turned around and says to stop messing about. And as I've turned back round, I could see Ethan's legs going. So I've just grabbed his arms, and then I've pulled him back to me, and then his legs have just dropped.
Michael and Kerry Ives have today been found guilty of the callous murder of their 2-year-old grandson, Ethan Ives-Griffiths.
A 47-year-old man and a 46-year-old woman have today been convicted of the murder of their 2-year-old grandson, Ethan Ives-Griffiths. Ethan's mother, Shannon Ives, 28, was convicted of causing or allowing his death. Michael Ives and Kerry Ives, both of Kingsley Road, Garden City, Deeside, and their daughter, Shannon Ives, of Nant Garmon, Mould, were all found guilty of cruelty to a child.
Ethan's mother, Shannon Ives, was found guilty of causing or allowing the death of her son. All three, also found guilty of cruelty to a child, should have cared and protected Ethan. Instead, Michael and Kerry caused distress, pain and misery to their grandson before brutally taking his life nearly 4 years ago in August 2021. His mother watched and took no action as the abuse unfolded in the home they all shared.
The jury of 7 women and 5 men delivered their unanimous verdicts on Tuesday, the 15th of July, following a 6-week trial at Mould Crown Court. All 3 will be sentenced at Mould Crown Court on Friday the 3rd of October. During proceedings, the court heard harrowing details of the neglect and abuse Ethan suffered. When failing to conform with Michael Ives' wishes, Ethan was put in stress positions, starved of food and water, and was casually and brutally assaulted. This behavior was in stark contrast to how his siblings were treated. Tragically, this sustained period of abuse ended with him being murdered by his grandfather. Speaking following today's verdict, Senior Investigating Officer, Detective Superintendent Chris Bell said, "Michael, Kerry and Shannon Ives held positions of responsibility and should have shown Ethan love, care and protection. Instead, Michael caused distress, pain and misery to his grandson before brutally taking his life nearly 4 years ago, almost 2021. Kerry and Shannon both watched and took no action as the abuse unfolded in the home they all shared. Their behavior was beyond comprehension, and it is impossible to imagine the terror a 2-year-old would feel in suffering the horrific injuries he endured, inflicted upon him by those regarded as his closest family." We saw from images of Ethan how he significantly deteriorated over the 7-week period he had lived with his grandparents, up until his murder. It is not possible to be sure exactly what Ethan experienced behind closed doors during that time, but sadly, we know from the evidence gathered that he suffered significantly. I commend the immense strength and courage Ethan's paternal family found to assist my investigation team over the past 4 years, and to conduct themselves with dignity throughout what was a lengthy, harrowing, and complex trial. My thoughts and condolences remain with them. I want to thank colleagues, other emergency workers, medical experts and prosecutors for the exceptional work they have carried out through what has been an incredibly emotive, complex and protracted investigation. They have been driven by the determination of seeking justice for Ethan, often to the detriment of their own welfare. This investigation has brought out the best in policing, and I personally want to thank my team for everything they have done to secure this outcome for Ethan and his family today.
Their behaviour was beyond comprehension, and it is impossible to imagine the terror a 2-year-old would feel and suffer in the horrific injuries in which he endured, inflicted upon him by those regarded as his closest family.